Listen to my music. Command. Yeah, well, I don't know. It's not a command, but might as well use command, right? Let's begin with application. Hello everyone. Keep switching here. Maybe that's was correct. I just have to stay here. No, wait. I can click on this. Yeah, what is the next one that I shall mention? I guess this one, these two, because they define the service. So do the same thing with it, but then for the window. Shall I link back? These define the render pass. Yeah, how to formulate that. Let's not get into detail, just like that. Oops. Just VK device, I suppose. VK device. Oops. New I was here, yeah. Those two and those two and that one, the last one, this one. Oops, yeah. I guess I don't need this page. I might as well go to localhost again. Local host 4000 slash Linux here. And then you think, okay, now I give up. But you just have to add slash, I bet. No. Oh. Interesting. Error, bad request line. What? Blink, blink. No, that's interesting. You know what? I don't see any problems with this. Seriously. That is strange. Oh, maybe it's CS that didn't work. Yeah, it's just HTTP. So if you try to connect with TLS and HTTPS, then this is the TLS handshake, and it just doesn't get it. Bad request line. Dude, I was trying to make a secure connection. The weirdness of it all, right? Okay, I have this now. So drawing our first triangle is the hello world of Vulkan. That's the same as in this plot. Let's start with the same sentence. Linux Bureau comes with an example application. Talking about which, so I think that if we are on GitHub, then it does work to go back and then still have the right scrolling, right? Because I think that's pretty important. For example, I jump to frame buffer here, frame buffer's at the top, and I click on imageless frame buffer, and then we go back. Yeah, it's still working. I don't understand why it works here and it doesn't work on my local host site. But I guess I won't put time into it then. Okay, it comes with an example application that opens a window 400 by 400 and draws a triangle in it. It's made up of the following files. Hello triangle, the application definition. Hello triangle contains eek. Yeah. Could you put a break here? See what happens. Seems to work. Contains int main int garc. Well, the stupid thing is, I would like to accept a break here, but I don't want to accept a break here. So I need a non-breaking space. But if you put that in as HTML inside an inline code, it's just going to appear like an ampersand and all. Okay, that's not an introduction, right? It's more like overview. No, it's called introduction. I want to start this with an uppercase because it's the beginning of a sentence. Even though the executable is called hello with a lowercase, but yeah, it still looks better, I guess. Okay, at some point I just want to start to show each of the files. So I guess you can do that. To start. Below. Well, yeah, how do you say that? It's twice each. Yeah, fuck. Let me turn on the light. Be right back. Okay. This is again too big. And I want to turn it in a link. So it's going to be looking a lot like this, right? That's the idea, at least. So how did I do that? I did that. Nobody knows what that does. Some A. Yeah. Oh well, might as well do it exactly the same way, why not? So we'll copy this, or yeah, copy it from that to here. As in, it has to look like that, I guess. No, and then this link to GitHub. That would mean that everything has to be inside source. So here I have examples. But I only link to source then. Well, it makes sense, I guess. Let's make a copy. Includes link to includes link to GitHub. I'm typing because I thought, yeah, I had something in my mouse buffer, and I did. Namely what I was typing. Okay. Source. That should work. You know, the font is a little bit smaller, and we have a link. We have a link. Okay, who sees first what is wrong? .html. No, not good. I think that should do the trick. Not found. Oh, that's interesting. Don't even get a 404 now. What? I'm so confused now. Linux viewer, source, tree master. Yeah, of course, tree master. Yeah. Why? Okay, so that's all we need. Now I don't know what I copied. Tree master. So, like that, right? Yep. Yeah, I can't get it right, apparently. Why can I not get this right? I thought the source was correct. Yeah. And then I do examples, and it is source examples. Yeah. Oh, and then hello triangle. Of course. Examples hello triangle. Finally. I guess I'll just drop in with the first line. Where do we get that? I'm gonna lose so many people after this first line. Oh no. How do I explain that? Before I'm even going to try to explain that, I'll look if that worked. Didn't. Wait, where are we now? Localhost, reload. Did I not save it? No, no, it looks good. I mean, are you sure that is C++ syntax? What the hell, man? No, can't do anything about it. I would say macros, but basically it's output, right? But output is also macros. Oh. Yeah. How do I explain that? Because I forgot why it was the case. If you ask me, I wrote that like more than 20 years ago. I believe that at the time I was supporting this for many different Unix flavors, and you just needed the control of having the very first header file under your control to deal with certain operating system bugs, in order to be able to work around them. At the moment, I have to say, I can hardly believe that it's still necessary. So maybe you should just drop the whole requirement, especially since in the last decade I haven't had any need for it. Let's see what it is doing. It includes sys.h in the root of the project, if you have one. Oh, I do need it. I thought I didn't use it, but I am. Oh, okay, well, even using it, so I'll stick to it. Not even sure which one goes first. The binary directory, the build directory, or the source directory? If it would exist in both. So here we have all my includes. Source is first, but that's not a root. External, so this is the source. So the source directory comes first, but I think the object directory comes after that. Yeah. Where was I? It will include a sys.h header file from the root of the project. That exists. Otherwise, let's formulate that differently. As all Git submodules use libcwd for debugging output, it is required to begin every source file that uses libcwd macros with this line. This will include a sys.h header file if it exists. Probably commas. If it exists from the root of the project. I don't know, my English is not good enough. Is this from the root of the project? How do you say that? Hello, great programmer. I don't hate C. Why do you think I hate C? I'll start a new chat. Well, yeah, I think that the complex programs, so large programs, but certainly certain complexity, and certainly the way I code, requires classes. I could never do that in C. I know that there is people that think that you can code object-oriented in C, and I mean you can, of course, but then they use a lot of macros and rules that are not enforced by the compiler. So that, in my eyes, is just a lot more error-prone, and I like to use the type safety of C++ and the access control, public, private, etc., to compiler enforce certain things in order to make it just, more robust and stuff. I wouldn't know why I would torture myself, but trying to do the same thing with C, even though it is possible, I guess, between quotes. And if you make it really, really, really complex, then there is no way you can do it in C. I don't think that what I have written code, let's put it so way, I have written code that you cannot do in C, really, no, even if you try. I just rely too much on the compiler to catch mistakes. Yeah, it's kind of a design flaw in C++. I agree, but gotta live with it. I mean, what other way? I mean, it's not like C solved it. Anything you can do in C, you can do in C++. C has printf, which is exclusively allows you to format built-in types. But in C++, you need to be able to print any type, also custom types, aka classes. And in order to write, to serialize, basically, translate into a series of characters that you then write to a console, any arbitrary type, you can use functions, or you can use a binary function. I mean, there's not really a difference between a plus or a less than, or a function that takes 2 arguments. It just is slightly more readable. And the choice has been to use a // I mean, you can also do print cout, comma. I don't know, let me think how that works. World, I guess. No, wait. It's gonna be like this. Print. No, wait. Yeah, print, of course. So print, cout, comma, hello, comma, world. Now, since now they are arguments of the of functions, you can make this any type. You can pass any type you want to a function. But if you have to choose between this and the line above that, I would go with this. It's kind of more readable. The problem is that if hello is actually not a string, but some object of a random type, and this works, and this works, but what you really would want is to call a member function of that object. So what you really want is hello dot print. and have a member function decide how to print the hello. But you still have to pass on an OStream to it. Now suppose you want to use this instead of the above. This is really ugly, of course. So suppose you want to do this. Now print is a member function of hello instead of just a global function. I mean, this is exactly the same as that, right? You see that, right? It's just this is a binary function, and then whatever is returned is again used as the first argument of the second binary function. So if you want to do this, then you have to do something like world.print. Yeah, because you begin in the middle, so you pass cout, that prints hello to cout, and then you return cout to the next print, which then appends world to it. But now you have the wrong order. Plus, you can never use binary things anymore like that. I mean, not the member functions. So that is a flaw, and I solved it by making this turn into the line that I just deleted. So I type this, and that causes then to that calls the following things. I'm using on, no, print on, so like that. So I type this, and that causes this to be called in that order. And then I implement my print on functions. I just write member functions called print on that write to an OStream. And then I can do this, and automatically then that they can be called. They are being called. So I think then you have the best of all worlds, and I really don't see the problem anymore with using less than. Because what I just showed was the only problem. That you can't use member functions. No, I'm sorry, I want to continue on my documentation. Let me read what you said. Other people said also. David JK said, have you ever touched code on any Android kernel? No, I didn't. I did buy a phone with Android on it with the idea then to have a Linux on my phone, but they black box it in so much that it doesn't even matter, I guess, that it's running Linux. And I've hesitated to root it. So I never went into hacking phones. I would like to, but actually I did install a different kernel for different something at some point, but that's also a black box. Then you have to trust some random hacker to who write a rootkit for your phone, to be honest. And Great Program says, can I ask you an advanced question, and can you show me a little example? By the way, I can help you to work on front end of your site. I'm a full stack web dev. Yeah, well, thank you, but I think you're too late with that, because I've kind of reached the point now, I think, where I can just write Markdown and the rest works. And it went pretty good, getting the help from GPT-4 with that. So even if there's a little thing that I still need, and Well, I can ask GPT-4, it's no problem. It seems to work. So you show me how to create something like compiler in C++. Like I create new file with custom extension example test.mylang. I don't understand you. I'm just curious. It's just a small thing. What do you want to do with my other hand? Nah, come on, man. I don't have time to write the complete compiler. Writing a compiler is one of the most difficult things there is. You're better off asking ChatGPT or Googling for it. I'm going to continue with my documentation. As all Git submodules used for debugging outputs required to begin up to this will include. Oh yeah, that was I was going to ask. Oops. Well, I'm gonna just, take the word of GPT-4 for it, that this is better. It's definitely longer. Sometimes longer is better, I guess. Now let's just use what I had. Okay, let's see how that looks like. I guess I should make CWDS a link. So that would be again a link to my no, not really. I mean, it is a link to GitHub, but not to the GitHub of Linux user source. So I'll just put a link in here directly, like this. Yeah, not like that. Really? No, I'm looking for that one, CWDS, yeah, but then without the hashtag. So I guess that would work. Yep. Might as well link to the sys.h file here then. Oops. Now that's a link to the sys.h. And that's CWS. Now you can see, by the way, what it does then. So it's always doing something. sys.h is including utils config and threadpool config. You could say though that, yeah, sys.h was never intended actually to include the config things, but since I had it anyway. Plus, of course, it's including the CWDS sys.h. But if you fast forward to 2023, this is always defined these days. It's just defined. Forget about a GNU source. I could just include it directly. I don't know, man. And this doesn't belong here. It starts to look like bitrot. I define unused arg here. Okay, so something. So let's not think about too long. Oops. I've demanded this now for 20 years, so people have to complain in my email with a bunch of people together, not just one, but multiple people from several parts of the world, different IP addresses. I'm just kidding. And then I'll think about changing it. Okay, so continue. The next line. I'm not going to explain what it exactly does, so because I have no idea anymore. It's handy, you know. Just at some point in your life, you're going to be super happy that you have every source file starting with a header file that you control. It's kind of a why not? Don't complain, that's included. What is the next lines? The next lines are well, let's go here. I don't know where. Maybe I should go here. No, here. Yeah, probably should go here, right? What else is there to say? Let's make small steps. There's a little bit more to say about this. This header has to be included. Do I already have a link to libcwd? Should have that. Yeah, here. I'll just use that and this then. No, I think about it. Oops. No, should I add a link to those things? The documentation of libcwd? Or not? So look how that would look like. Here's an example where the macro is a debug. D.A.I fatal. It's not super interesting. It's all old pages. Could link to writing debug output. No, I don't like documentation anymore. So then no documentation. So the printing the AI alert error. Can I jump to that file somewhere from here? It's not a link. This was a link. So this error here is printed in the out. Yeah, here. So the best thing is to just use the out here. That's where it is being used. The next line is shall I include this as well? I guess, why not? So include the things or not? So I just do it like that. I think like just like that, right? Without a Vulkan even. You see, all of them are .cxx files already, except this. But yeah, that's the header file that includes all the others. So this is actually the only, well, and it's an .inline header file by itself, but it's the only header file that includes an inline file. Yeah, normally I would say you always start or should start with including the headers that are newest. So you start with the headers of your own project, and then you include the headers of libraries that you use, and you end with the headers, the standard headers. But yeah, you have to make an exception for your own headers that include the Linux Viewer inline headers. Thus, I don't think this documentation is the place to explain why that is the case. So maybe you should add a red line around it, because it is kind of important, right? So let's call this, forgot how to do that, of course. I want to add that, and then something that I already worked on. That works like as follows. We do this. tip. Or I just call it tip. And then it's not a tip, of course. Depends. This was a note, but now I want the red line. So it's more like a warning, right? Call it warning. Or important, maybe. Important. Copy, include, slash, and we do the LV node thing. Copy it to same name but that important. Now we edit that file. And then I have to change all the nodes into important. Substitute node is important. And then we have to add it assets slash CSS main.css, and then I had an LV node. Yep. Let's add it here so the LV is close to the other LV. Important. I guess it's not to be added here. What is this? The content itself. Yeah, the content is still the same. And I suppress the title for that. And we need a different color. That didn't work for some reason. lv-important.html. lv-important.html should work. lv-important content. lv-important. What a mess. The only thing I got right was the word important. No, wait. LV_important? So lost. LV_important, yeah, and then we have title and content. This one, title. Tint. Why is this such a mess? I have no idea what I even did now. Yeah, the content is missing here. Because I didn't mess up the other things. They're still the same. And this should be LV important title. I think I just missed the content here after that one. Okay, why is this funny? I'm just messing up, man. Arg. That is div LV important. That is a title, which is suppressed. That is good. And now we get content. I think I should not have added the content, probably. Probably should not have added the content there. But there is a content here, so why? I think now the content is correct. There should be no content here. Should there? No, that's better. That is better. Reload. Yep. Yes. The complexity of the links your headers requires the use of .inl.h header files in order to avoid circular header dependencies. That's readable, right? The downside is that those need to be included in every compilation unit before using the functions that are inlined. To make this easier, the header file can be used in every... Yeah. maybe like that, but maybe I should just mention one of them and then leave it to people. What do you think? Shall I just use .cxx or shall I put it like this? Of course, the best would be to use .cpp, but I'm not using .cpp anywhere. Below all other headers. Can be used in every... I could also say compilation unit, I guess. Just leave it away. To make this easier, the header file there can be used below all other includes to automatically include the .inlh headers that are required and weren't included before. And then important. Yeah, I do want to have a title here that says important. I should be able to automate that. Let's have a look at that. How can we automate that? Right now I have a node here. That's nonsense indeed. Nonsense. Important. And why the hell would I use this? It's already inside a div that's called important. Like this much better. Oh, wait. And this is info, and info does not have that at all. and this is just content, and then we should be done. Except of course that now I have to edit again. So now have info node, LV node, and LV important. There are no hyphens anymore, just underscores. So the library+driver only applies to LV node, so I should not put it here. And what is this? I think we're talking about tip. I'm not using tip yet to make it extra complex. So now I have a tip.title then maybe, or whatever. I have an LV node.title, because title was missing here apparently. Except that my node does not have a title. So you can remove that completely. And here, I think this is now then like that. LV node.content, LV important.content. And here suddenly there is no content. Just info node. Probably also should be content, right? I have a margin top for info node and for LV important. But not for tip and for... That's... what? I think I made a mess of it. I don't know why. I see a lot of these, so might as well put them here. So margin is 10, except the top is 20. Why not all of them? So now I have an important. And the other things, a note. And this does not have a title. And what is with the background color? The background color should be the same as this. Why is it changed? I have a light gray background color. But yeah, and as usual, it is no way to figure out what the color is or where it comes from. Tiresome. Hè? so confused. Oh, Nick, hello. Thank you. Change CSS, yeah. And if I run it, it says pass a file and a line number. I have no idea what. I don't want that. No. Oh! Ah! Yeah, okay. I'm just an idiot. Or have a bad memory. Set CSS. That's where it is. Find color API. That should work, right? File. Run this one. Oh fuck, it gets reloaded to the top. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. No, do it manually, I guess. What the hell is this, man? So reload, scroll, changed, reload, scroll, changed, reload, scroll, original, reload, scroll, changed, reload, scroll, original, reload, scroll, original, reload, scroll, changed. Okay, it picks that one, but that's not even what I want to know actually. I want to know where the color comes from that I need. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, what about inherit? Does that work? Not sure. It seems that it just inherits whatever it already was. So if I comment this out, then it's still not correct. Nope. No, that one is correct. I have to change. That's my inherit. Yeah. I have to change the content back to oh, that's not the one. Why not? This is the content, isn't it? You paid sure know that you need. Nobody knows. Nobody gets it. Know that if you knows it. The problem is I made this content and I have somewhere a definition for content that just applies to this now as well, which I don't want. I guess it should not use content then. Why would I use anything? But if you set a background color of content to green, then it doesn't turn green. Why not? Do I need spaces or something? I do. The space is altijd tricky, hè? So I need spaces here as well, man. Yeah, it doesn't make the... Oh, I don't know. Anyway, let's try inherit again. I think now it looks good. Whew. Okay. Yeah, then maybe the distance is too big. I don't know. Is it? What do you think? I like it for that one. Probably also that one. Not very important. Well, not in this case anyway. Oh, Post Bunny, good that you say that, yeah. I was kind of on a roll. I liked it, like working. We can't get it too late. think this can be deleted, right? I mean, people read the comments. And this is, I have written a half a book, by the way. So it's a guy got his hobbies. So at some point I was a writer. I wrote a story. I got till 50,000 words or something like that. More, 100,000. So then I was interested in how to write, like become a writer. So I talked with people who are real writers or on the appropriate places in the internet. And I'm absolutely by no means an expert, but I did pick up a little bit. Tiny little bit. And it's yeah. It's that experience or history or whatever that makes me do tweaks like this. If I write a story and I have, it's oh, that's a good question. I forgot if it is in English or Dutch. It's in English. Yeah, it's in English. I had. The point is, say, if you write a story, then you really want to have some speed in it and not bore people with stuff and sentences that do not really add anything. So I'm going to remove that. Still, if you wrote it yourself, it's very, very difficult to judge text. So I also had a good friend who was living in America, and she would read my stories and correct them. So you need someone like that. The proofreader, how is that called? I was trying to use GPT-4 now as that. So I write some documentation and I give it to GPT-4 and then thinking that it would be super good at formulating beautiful English because that's exactly what it is made for. But I don't think it does. I think you would still be much better off with a human native English speaker who is professional in doing that kind of work, because no, I don't know what GPT-4 does wrong, but it certainly doesn't throw away things. It's more like using as many words as possible, repeating things. It's definitely not perfect. So this is inside the file that ends on 2, which was there. It's not, or I'm in the wrong directory. And I wanted to throw away. The comment says it all. And I guess that since this is documentation, I really should remove a lot of spaces here. So you don't have to scroll that much. I never know how to write separate. Is it an E or an A? Is it written correctly? Post Bunny to be my proofreader. Separate files. The complexity of Linux headers requires the use of separate files. Oops, for the definition of inline functions. Separate. Okay, thank you. So I had it correct. The downside is that those need to be included in every compilation unit before using the inline functions. But that is not the downside. The downside is that they need to be included in every compilation unit. Period. Yeah, I'm already talking about order later on, so I guess I can just delete that. To make this easier, the header file blah blah can be used below all other includes. See, though, there it's already, so otherwise it would have been a repeat. To automatically include the headers that are required and weren't included already or before. Ready sounds better, I think. Note that if you need inline functions in a header, then it is better to include the specific header. The specific inline.h header. Again below any other header, so that would be a repeat again. That is required for those functions. Yeah, post, I tricked you. Yeah, I'm trying to reach a point where I feel that it's more or less finished for today, as it were. So some kind of milestone-ish. I guess you can add a check for that. I know exactly what macros are being defined by including these files. So I could add to every header file. That's way too many, but theoretically I could do that. Add to every header file that must be included before them a test. Inline headers. And that's too soon. You have to do that later. Not going to do that though. Well, not now anyway. I think I'm done with this include here. So yeah, I could. I guess I can stop. Just. I guess that's going to be the next block that I write comments about. Right. Right. And now I should go to bed because that's the whole point. But you know me, I always want to play a game of chess at the end. You gotta wonder why I'm not looking at the World Championship chess. I haven't looked at it at all. I guess I'm like, yeah, I can always look at that later. Might be interesting though to look at it live for a change. Okay, so the Sicilian, I've got the name of it. The idea is that black can do something really weird here. Move this pawn twice. That creates a backward pawn here, but it's just possible. The only reason that it's possible, if now and after I gain this tempo here, later on I can move this pawn, which is only possible when this square is enough under my control, for which I'm going to need this knight. So if white doesn't move, that has nothing to do with this square, I can move this pawn. And now this move, bishop e3, did not have anything to do with that square. If the bishop had gone there, then he was threatening to exchange my knight, which is defending then, and then I would have moved to pawn 1 square. So now I'm going to prepare going here. I can play the queen or the bishop because I want to prevent this bishop developing there. I think this one is good enough. So now we already have 3 on it, so I could already move it if I wanted to. But let's prepare castling first. There's still no risk that white is going to prevent me from moving this. Well, it could put a knight there, of course. But, well. Now it's threatening to castle long, and then I cannot move my pawn forward anymore. So maybe I should do it immediately. He take, I take, he takes. I take with the queen, no problems. No checks. Meaning checks, I didn't castle yet, so. That's a really strange move. He's attacking something here, but I seriously don't see it. I mean, I can give a fork and then I win a piece. I don't see it. Oh no, oh my god. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Everyone knows that by now. This proves it again. I thought, well, let's take the knight first, because otherwise he takes a pawn, takes my queen. So I just exchange the knight and then I give the fork. Seriously, I thought that. It's so horrible. And I can't castle now. That's pretty annoying. Okay, so the bishop goes here and I want to get rid of it. I need a knight there or there. That means I need a knight there or there. Which means I need a castle first. My knight can go there. Or like that maybe. That's the only other way. And now, hopefully, yeah, it goes all the way there. Yeah. Now, I could play this one and then knight, knight, knight. But then by that time, this knight is standing here and this bishop is stopping me. Every possible way. I cannot even castle anymore. This is pure horror. Oh my god. Play my knight here then maybe. So go like this and then like that. Already stopped it. Well, in that case, I really want to castle. I mean, I want to castle so badly that I'm gonna push this pawn. That one is attacked. I think I'm gonna resign. This is too bad. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I should never have done this. And I got punished. Got punished immediately. Well, it took a minute or what. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.